and they come and kill new areas. They're just absolutely bonkers, these guys. Why does the rest of the world live with and treat the Varroa mite, but the DPI's best efforts is just to go around and kill all the hives in the red area? They believe that this is going to be beatable. We can destroy this Varroa mite. And trust me, I want it destroyed. But the fact is, it was discovered over 12 months ago, and it would have had to have been here for 12 months prior to that. And you tell me that these hives weren't moved down the coast, up the coast, around the coast for 12 months prior, and there was no other spreading? We're just following this out from Newcastle and they're killing all the hives behind them and only testing little zones? Seriously, test the whole entire New South Wales. Ethically, not unethically using ethanol. I'm talking ethically using powdered sugar. Because I guarantee there's going to be a lot more cases than we thought there were. And I don't think it's going to be dramatic because Australia has some of the best weather to protect itself from these mites. How did the DPI decide that killing all the hives in a 10-kilometre radius of an infected hive is the best approach they could take? Well, it was because apparently bees can only travel at 10 kilometres. But if your beehive is on this side of the line or that side of the line, that determines if it's killed or not, and the bees just know not to fly across that line. Like, I've literally seen bees. They talk, they communicate, they're always around each other, and they're going to cross their lines. They're going to meet each other. They're going to rob each other's hives no matter what, and that's just how bees work. So it's really crap, their design of this. What is the science behind the 10-kilometre killing zones and the 25-kilometre surveillance zones? Well, they won't give you that information. They just tell you that they will fly 10 kilometres and no more, and that's why they can kill all the bees in that area. And then obviously that 25-kilometre zone of testing is good enough for them. I mean, if we're so worried about the Varroa mite spread, I reckon we really should be testing absolutely far out and back in, not chasing this damn thing. In what countries has the destruction monitoring zones been effective in, if it has been used at all? And there has been no cases of this zone and use before, and as you can see from every other country that has had the Varroa mite, they've been ineffective at getting rid of the mite. Once it's there, but they learn to live with it. They learn to build stronger colonies that resist against the mite, and they learn to use methods of treatment, because there is a lot of methods of treatment out there. Varroa mite response permit is active for all states in Australia. So are they planning to bring this pandemic to other parts of Australia? Especially when they just opened the borders for bee travel? What? Yeah, they did. Yep. So if you're in the surveillance zone right next to the red zone, yeah, you can move your hive after you test them and let them sit for a couple of weeks. I mean, if it took us 12 months to find this Varroa mite in the country, I don't think a couple of weeks are going to change the fact that this hive might have Varroa mite in it. Like, wow. They simply said they don't expect it to travel beyond the borders and that they're going to contain it. But yet they're still going around and killing thousands and thousands and thousands of hives for the last 12 months. When is it going to end? Why are a lot of organic keepers and large commercial farms exempt from killing their hives and allowed 80,000 hives on their property, but us small people that are in the bush and all these small growers around the area, self-sufficient people that have food forests or just trying to live their life a bit better, can't have bees? Big question on top of that is, why are these people paying for our hives to be killed? And why do they get to sit with the DPI and say, we want these hives killed, we agree, we need this done, we need that done, here's some money? Damn. And I guess they need that income, they still need that large commercial money coming in. I really don't know. They won't give you an answer for that question particularly, but it's a really good question. That's one of the questions you get deflected really easily with. They just go, no, we can't tell you that. Well, we can't disclose that information to you. And that's what we're hit with a lot of these questions. But I'm always doing my research in the background to try and find the actual answers behind these questions so I can still bring you guys some actual truth and fact. Something the DPI is failing bloody terribly at, but yeah. Was the emergency order that the DPI are running under right now for the Varroa mite response created before the Varroa mite even got here? And yes, there was one from 2011, 2015. There's a whole bunch of responses that are written up on the varroa mite and what to do when it gets here. And a lot of them say after there's a couple of cases that this is unmanageable. It's gone. It's too far. So what are they doing? And the reason they did write these up before is because Australia has had literally 5 incursions before. We've had constant incursions of this mite in the last 20 years. And this is just one of those that have gone way further out, and we didn't even see it for 2 years. So it gets you wondering, how far is it actually spread? Is it actually everywhere and we have no clue? Now we're going on to the legal side of things. All right. Who grants the DPI access to trespass onto your private property? Well, that's the Commonwealth. The government, the Commonwealth, is literally giving the DPI, just these random people, access to break the law and trespass onto your property. And if you don't let them onto your property, you get hit with millions in fines. Like, normally if someone's trespassing on your property, it's the other way around. You can go and take them to court or whatever, but no, not in this instinct. You let these guys trespass on your property, you get screwed over. Who is held responsible if the native bee population starts to decline? Well, right now we've seen a lot of people that have lost their native beehives near these areas that fipronil has been used, and simply no one is to blame, the DPISA, because they've given their fair warning. And I highly doubt they're going to launch a study on the complete environmental effect of what they've already done and what they're continuing to do. But if there is a study brought out, it would be the DPI it's going to fall back onto, or it's going to be the Commonwealth. Does the DPI hand you the act before entering your property and want to record it as a way to get you to enter a legal binding contract? Well, by the Australian law, it does seem like that. I mean, we're basically cargo on a ship here, literally. So we don't have a lot of rights, and that's one way they're going to try and get you, is by handing you the act right at the gate. So you're basically screwed in the future. They're very, very smart with what they do. What rights do people have to appeal the decision of the DPI coming to your property and killing your bees? You have no rights. They do not care. They are coming to kill your bees. And I promise you they will. And if you try and stop them, or if you try and shoo your hive away, or if you try and move your hive, they will come and fine you, or they'll take you away. They're going to absolutely destroy your life. Who is responsible and accountable if this action the DPI have taken is a complete mistake and they've completely screwed up the ecosystem? Well, I think it's a bit too late for blaming fingers, because everyone could have stood up. They knew what they were doing from the start. Us people need to stand up and show them that we are in charge, that they work for us, that we don't want our food destroyed, that we don't want to be eating pesticide mainstream fruit. We want our own self-sufficient fruit. We want our own healthy fruit, not sprayed with insecticides. We want to be able to pollinate our own fruits. We want to pollinate our own crops. So I guarantee you, they're going to flip it onto us. They're going to do it. They're going to try and say, well, you should have tried harder or some crap like that. But if anything, these guys aren't going to take responsibility. They never do. It's a government. Do you really think that they're going to take responsibility for an absolute economic and ecosystem and food chain system disaster? No, they're not. They do not care for us. Now we're on to testing. Why kill beehives that have not been tested? Is that not inhumane? Well, they're more worried about destroying this mite than actually caring about people's lives, and a lot of time people's everything. Their bees are their animals, their life. They're doing this. That's what they are. It helps them in therapy. It helps them in life. And they come along and strip it away. And they know it's inhumane. They know they're not testing, and they know that some people aren't going to put up a fuss. So they're just doing it. They've done such a good job at hiding the fact that they're killing everyone's freaking hives and they're poisoning. Like, they know what they're doing. They've done this in secret. And then they're holding these presentations where people are concerned coming to, and they're going, no, don't worry. And here these people are like, the government just told me not to worry. That means I should not worry about all of the freaking hives being killed. Like, I'm not misinformation. They are misinformation when it's coming to what they are saying and how they are treating our people.